I want to introduce a new book. Ironically, it's called Age-Old Tales of the Hebrews and the Greeks, altered, twisted, and mutilated by Stanley Longman. That's me. I have 15 of those stories, those age-old tales, but you will never have heard them just this way. These ancient myths, biblical stories, are always ways to make some sense out of the human predicament, particularly the mysteries of life and death, the mysteries of good and evil, love and sex, anything, friends and enemies. Here what I do is I mix characters out of mythology and the biblical stories. And after all, these are people who lived in the same Mediterranean world. And so, why shouldn't they not meet? And I'll have them meet. For example, Adam and Eve were conducted out of paradise by an avenging angel. And once they came through that portal, they found on the other side a woman with a box. Her name was Pandora. And so it was that evil came into the world. Or in another context, Odysseus had so angered Poseidon, god of the seas, as to cause him to punish the poor man by riling the waves up into great mountains of water. And at the same moment, the Lord our God had Jonah thrown into the water, and the two were swallowed up by the whale. And that's how Jonah and Odysseus met, in the belly of the whale. And that caused such indigestion, of course, as to cause the whale to throw them up on a beach. And they went off together into Nineveh. Now there are also some stories in here that are expanding on what is familiar to all of us. For example, there was a fourth Magi who got lost in the bowels of the palace of King Herod, couldn't find his way through those complicated corridors, and so the three Magi left, had to go on without him to visit the Christ child in the stable. So these are altered, twisted, mutilated tales that are intended as a kind of tribute to the rich and provocative nature of the original stories. Well, it's all a part of the human predicament. And that's what it's all about.